This is Sami Jo from Y100, and you're listening to On the Mic podcast.
Do you want to introduce yourself to everyone who is watching or listening to this podcast?
Sure. So I'm Sami Jo. I'm the morning show producer and an on-air host here at Y100 in Miami. So I produce Elvis Duran in the morning show for Y100. Yeah, and I'm also on air Monday through Friday, 10 to 12, usually, but today I'm actually filling in. So I'm on until 2 o'clock. All week, rather.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into the first question. It is, what do you love about being a radio DJ?
Oh, gosh. That's a good question. I love a lot of things about being a radio DJ. Mostly just like the listener interaction. I just think back to when I was like a teenager and calling into the radio station and trying to win tickets or like calling in on a topic that they were talking about and how much fun they were to interact with. And just being there for your community too when you're going through things. I don't know. It's great to have that listener interaction.
Yeah, I like that. It's always nice to like getting to talk to the listeners and all of that. Yeah.
I love talking to people. So it's nice to hear people's stories, their backgrounds.
Yeah, it is.
We all have one common thing. We love music.
That's good.
Yeah.
What is it like, produce like Elvis Duran on Y100? What is that like?
So that's pretty cool. And it's actually pretty full circle too, because I was an intern for the show when I was in college. So it's cool. I get to talk to some of the hosts too and some of the producers on a daily basis.
Cool.
They're really awesome. Like who they are on air is who they are off air. They're just a lot of fun, great group of people. Yeah.
That's good. It's awesome. And then what's your favorite thing about being on Y100?
Favorite thing about being on Y100? Well, this is like a new market for me. So I'm from Florida. I grew up in Florida.
Yeah.
And then I moved to New York and then I moved back. But I lived in Tampa. So this is like a different scene. Like Miami is completely different from Tampa. It's very culture driven and it's a different environment. It's just a different atmosphere. There's a different energy to Miami. It's just so, I don't know how to explain it. I guess just exciting and loud. It's like being in a big city. It's like being in New York City, but just in Miami, hotter weather. To sort of get into that vibe, like I think there's a different, how do I put this? I'm trying to put this like eloquently, but it's really just like a different vibe here in Miami. So I think I like learning about the art and the culture and getting more in touch with like my Latin side, because I am half Puerto Rican too.
That's
and I
cool.
I never had to like speak Spanish really at home or to anybody really. I took Spanish for 7 years and never used it. So now I feel like I get to tap into that a little bit more living here and everything. So it's definitely just like a cultural shift for me. And I think that's pretty fun.
That's super awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
What do you love about talking to the listeners?
Talking to the listeners, I think what I love most is hearing their stories. They're usually always having a better day than I am or like funnier. They have funnier things to say and talk about. Yeah, just getting to learn about their lives, what they do, who they are, because that also helps me as a radio host to, connect with them a little bit more. And so it's fun talking to the listeners and hearing their stories.
That's good. I like that. What do you love about working for iHeart Media?
iHeart. This is like my dream company. I've always wanted to work for iHeart my entire radio career. So once I got the opportunity to come here, I was so excited. So what I love about iHeart is they're an entertainment company. Like they put on all these like amazing shows and we get the artists in here to chat with them about their music and they're a really great company to work for and they always take care of their employees. So
that's good.
Yeah, I've loved iHeart from the second I walked in to the studios in New York. Like it's just been such an amazing, exciting environment. Like it feels like you're in the entertainment industry when you're working for iHeart.
Yeah, I like that. That's awesome. This isn't on the questions, but what do you love about your coworkers, getting to work with them?
Oh, that's a really nice question. I love my coworkers. Yeah. Drew, Frankie, Taylor, they're all just so welcoming too. Like I'm pretty new to the team, so they're very welcoming and they always want to help you out in any way possible. And I find that to be rare, not necessarily like in radio, but just like in general. Some people just don't want to help you out. And they're willing at any second of the day. If I hit them up for something, they're willing to help me and help me grow, give me some tips and pointers for my show. Like they're just really great.
That's
and
awesome.
They want to make sure that Y100 is, doing great as a whole, not just good for their show. Like they want to make sure everybody is sounding good. So we're always chatting with each other and they're always there for me if I need anything. So they're awesome. They're an awesome bunch.
That's really nice to hear. of good.
Yeah.
I bet they would be happy to hear this on the podcast if they listen. Yeah.
They're probably like, she's being fake. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Do you recommend going to college to be a radio DJ?
That's a good question. Yes and no. I know people who have not gone to college for radio and who have been very successful in this industry. I found it successful for me just because, one, I got to have a more well-rounded education. So it wasn't just going for radio. Like, I got to take other courses like psychology and stuff like that, which I felt was really awesome. And it also helped me, you know, get internships. And if I didn't have my internships, I really don't think I'd be here today. So in that aspect, I think, going to college is important to get those internship experiences, but you don't need it to get into radio at all. And there's other like technical schools you can go to for it, or you can just join a street team the old regular way, get in somehow, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Like that.
Yes and no.
Then is interning important?
Okay, yeah, so same thing. If you are in college, I think, yes, interning is 100% important. It is literally how I got my job here, Y100, and how I got any job in radio. I believe having as much experience as possible, is useful. So intern if you can. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to get off campus too for a little bit and get hands-on real-world experience in the industry. Yeah,
it's good. Is an on-air track important, like a radio demo? Is that important?
Yes, I believe 1000% it is important. If you're going to apply for an on-air job, have a demo, an air check ready, short, simple, your best bits to send over to the PD or the hiring manager, because they want to see how you sound, you know, they want to hear how you sound, how you're going to sound on their station. So absolutely important.
Yeah, that's good. Do you think that it is important to have some experience to be a radio DJ, like running an internet radio station or volunteering on one?
I think all that can certainly help for sure. I mean, an internet radio station is awesome. I was a volunteer at my college radio station, and it was part internet station, part community radio station. So, I mean, anything that could help, you don't need it. I mean, if you are a rock star, have a great personality, let that shine in your air check. And you never know what could happen, but I think for sure, like, having any bit of experience can obviously help you get the job.
That's good. Is it important to have a following on social media to get noticed to be in the radio industry?
So this is a big one for me. I'll be honest, because I'm still struggling with that myself. I think a lot of people in the industry have a big following and it works to their advantage. And it's a great way to connect with your listeners and talk more about what you're doing on the station and bring some of your topics and stuff that you were talking about on your show, like into social media and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool. I'm still struggling with that myself. I think in this industry, they would love for you to grow on social media to help with, you know, your own branding and getting your show noticed and stuff like that. But, you know, it takes time like anything. So, I do think it's important, but do it naturally and organically.
I like that. What do you recommend for anyone who wants to get hired for iHeartMedia? What do you recommend, like, they should do?
Well, of course, check the careers site to make sure there is a job that fits you or you fit the job. Make sure you have a great resume that stands out, a great air check that stands out, maybe run it by somebody in the industry. I find that people in this industry have been really willing to help anybody. There's always room to grow. So if you have a contact, run it by them. Ask them to look over your resume, listen to your air check, give you any feedback before you press send. Make sure everything's in check. So I think that's my only tip.
Do you recommend hitting up your local DJ to get a mentor?
You can, a lot of radio DJs will do that. I know, like, in COVID times, it's been a little different and more difficult to do that, especially if you have to come into the studio to do any sort of mentorship. But I think it's worth a shot to reach out to somebody. There's always going to be somebody willing to help you in this industry. So I think getting a mentor can for sure help you out.
Yeah, that's good. Do you want to share a little bit about your podcast for those who want to give it a listen or look into that?
So I don't have a podcast just yet. I'm working on it. I did have a previous podcast. I'm not sure if the episodes are still up on the iHeartRadio app, but it was called Yeah. It was called The Blonde and a Brunette, and we had like 10 episodes.
That's cool.
And I thought it was kind of funny.
That's cool. It'll be linked in the description for those who are watching the video version of this. So definitely.
Yeah, I can also send you my YouTube channel too.
Yeah. That'll be all linked in the description for those who are watching this video. And then the last and important one is, where can everyone check you out and follow you?
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So my YouTube channel, you can go check out. I do a lot more, like it's an extension of my Onair life on my YouTube channel. So just search Sami Jo, my name, SamiJo. And then on Instagram, it's at DJ Sami Jo, and on Twitter at the DJ Sami Jo, because DJ Sami Jo was taken.
Hey.